Do you pray? Pray to who? For what? Are your prayers being answered? And what does that mean? Are your prayers being answered? It's confusing, because people are trained to pray. I was trained to pray as a Catholic boy, and I was very small, and I saw these beads hanging from people's, the nuns' costumes, giant things. And then they handed them out, and they said, this is the way you pray. And you use these beads. And it was usually as a punishment. They'd give you these prayers, these set prayers to say as you counted them off on these beads, for doing some kind of a sin that they called a sin. They never really taught the commandments. That was a list of something that we kind of stayed away from in my early youth. But I knew there was something very strange going on because I saw a lot of violence that was being perpetrated by the adults that were in the training. The ruler on the knuckles and all that. I didn't get it. When I used my left hand to write something. And so I went into my basement in the dark at my family home. And I talked to the darkness. And I said, I know you're real. I don't know your name. But I know you can see me and you can hear me. And I was in the first grade. I was like 6 years old. And he heard me. I went there quite often, actually, and talked to him. I never learned his name until I got out of the Air Force and I went through college, and I started looking at alphabets in the library, and I found this 4-lettered name. And then I discovered from reading the scriptures that they had taken that name out and put in another device, which translates as Lord in English, but back into the Hebrew it becomes B-E-L or B-A-A-L. It's disturbing. Well, prayer is having a spiritual conversation, and it's exclusively reserved to Yahuwah. We don't attempt any contact with the dead or any other spiritual being. The first commandment is, I am Yahuwah, your Elohim. Have no other before my face. And the second commandment is related to the first. You do not bow to images. It's necessary to know who we are conversing with and that we are obeying his will. Our primary motivation to seek the face of Yahuwah is to grow closer and closer to his desires because we are his servants. He is not our servant. If your prayers aren't being answered, it might be because you're asking the wrong things and you don't obey him. Before attempting prayer, consider this. Proverbs 28, verse 9, quote, he who turns his ear away from hearing the Torah, that's the Torah or the instruction, even his prayer is an abomination to Yahuwah, unquote. Yahuwah does not hear the disobedient because they're not his servants. Lighting candles on cakes and making wishes and kneeling in front of a statue and lighting candles as they do in Hindu world and the Catholic system, and I don't know, but maybe the Orthodox Catholics, prayers to the dead and all this stuff, it's witchcraft, and it's taught by wizards. You should look up this webpage and read more about prayer. It's fossilizedcustoms.com/prayer .html. I'll put it right here on the screen so you can go there. Check that out. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.